I have spent the last few months analyzing over 500 different faceless channels, thousands of their videos across several different niches to figure out how the YouTube algorithm is changing in 2025, why some channels such as the ones you see on screen are set to become massive and earn a lot of money in 2025, while others will fail to even get off the ground. If you give me your faceless channel idea today, I can tell you whether you're going to succeed or fail. And the reason for that is that YouTube is shifting, and the algorithm now is following a very specific formula that 99% of creators are not even aware of. That is why in today's video, I am going to walk you through the exact cheat codes that you need to follow and apply to your own channel if you want to make it big and if you want to make money in 2025. Now you must have noticed in your home feed that you're suddenly seeing a lot of videos popping up from smaller creators, from people who have very few subscribers. This, my friend, is not by accident. YouTube is intentionally promoting smaller channels. Todd Oprah, who's the head of YouTube's discovery team, recently said this: "We have a team that is specifically focused on this challenge of trying to identify audiences for creators that are just getting started." So clearly YouTube wants smaller channels to grow, and that shift is already happening. So now, if you really want to grow your channel in 2025, you have to get specific with what your channel is about and how you can give expert information or advice in that space. Generic stuff is no longer going to fly in 2025. This means you not only have to pick a niche, but within that niche, you also need to find your zone of genius. This is the area where you can come across as an expert. For example, AI is a niche, but if you go ahead and make videos just on AI and try and cover everything about AI, it's going to be very broad, it's going to be very distributed, and you will not have a focused audience now if you take it a step further and you start making videos around making money with AI. Now that is a sub-niche, like the example channels that we just discussed, but you can also go one step further here and maybe talk about making money on YouTube with AI and just stick to that niche, and that becomes your zone of genius. Now, within your zone of genius, the next thing that becomes really important is your topic selection. Again, you must have noticed the small channel videos that are being recommended to you are similar to the kind of content that you watch from bigger channels. For instance, I watch a lot of self-help content, so the videos that get recommended to my home feed from these smaller creators are also in the self-help space. And I will only click on these videos from these smaller channels if the topic is of interest to me. This means if you want to stand out, you need to do your market research. You need to look at all the similar channels in your specific niche, in that zone of genius niche. And you need to search for video topics that you're planning to create on to see what exactly are the search terms that are getting that traction, that are getting those views. And these are ideally the topics that you want to target. You also want to capitalize on trends. For example, right now, any small self-help channel that creates videos on glowing up or leveling up in 2025 is going to get traction. This is essentially because this topic, the glow up topic, starts to trend during the last 2 months of the year. Another example, look at these two videos. The reason that both of them are racking up millions of views is because in September of 2023, there was a massive trend on YouTube around creating bulk shorts in minutes. People wanted to know how to do this. So videos on this topic were going viral with viewers watching any content that showed them how to replicate this process. This strategy is called trend jacking, basically. When you spot a trend that's getting ton of views, that tons of creators are creating videos on, you also hop on it. You create a video on that topic to capture some of that interest. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is that the trend should be relevant to the niche that you're creating your content in, and that you're not blindly jumping on trends just because something is trending. You're making a video on it even if your channel is not remotely about that subject. Someone clicks on the video. You could have created the best video on how to glow up in 2025, but if your packaging looks like this, people are not likely to click on it because it's confusing, it's very busy, it just does not get the message across. Let me show you another example. Take a look at these two thumbnails and tell me which one you'd rather click on. Now, even though you just saw them for 2 seconds, I can bet that most people would click on thumbnail A. And that is the point. You only have 2 seconds to convince your viewers to click on your videos before they scroll away. All of these channels that I'm showing you on screen understand this. And so they create packaging that people want to click on. Now, each of their titles and thumbnails are sharp, they're clear, they're compelling. This is what separates the top 1% channels like these from the rest of the creators. Once you have gotten your zone of genius, you have created compelling packaging, and you've gotten me to click on your video, how will you ensure that I stick around? And why is my sticking around important? It's important because watch time is a metric that YouTube continues to give a lot of weight to in 2025. The longer people watch your video for, the more YouTube is going to recommend it further to newer audiences. But how can you ensure this? How can you ensure that you have good watch time, that people continue to stick to your video, they continue to watch your video for long enough? And the answer to that is by infusing your own personality into your videos. Soulless content is not going to get you anywhere. This is the reason that 99% of faceless channels fail, because they are soulless. They just put together a prompt in an AI tool, generate a video, and that's it. But the fact of the matter is that people want to connect with real humans and not robots. Now, of course, this is a lot more easily achieved with face-based channels because people get to see the body language of the person on screen. But that does not mean that it can't be done with faceless channels. It can actually be done with faceless channels to quite a large extent through your writing, through the tone of your voice, and through your editing. My favorite example to showcase here is this channel called Easy Actually. This creator, just by the use of witty language in his script, clever editing, and good sound design, has managed to garner over 700,000 subscribers with just 10 videos. It is a completely faceless channel. Another example is Far From Weak, who uses an alpha guy personality and a very heavy voice to do this. Then there is Incognito CEO, who sounds relatable, who brings personal experiences to the table to appeal to teenagers, to younger audiences. Isaac and How to AI use sarcasm in their scripting, turning their educational videos into something that's more entertaining and a lot more funny. Now, this human connection is going to be super important in 2025. Videos are no longer just tools. They're not just a tool to disperse information. They're actually a visual and auditory experience for the viewer. And anybody who is giving that to the audience is going to have higher leverage with them. So figure out what's unique about you. Maybe you can make your videos sound more funny. Maybe you're an inspirational person. Maybe you are a lot more down to earth. Maybe you're great at breaking down complex topics into very simple, easily understandable structures. Maybe you can edit videos in a much more visually appealing manner. Now the question is, why exactly is your personality or your uniqueness so important? One reason, of course, is because it helps people connect with you better on a personal level. But there is also another reason, and that is because it ties in with a very important metric that YouTube is focusing on: viewer satisfaction. How satisfied are your viewers with the content you have given them? YouTube measures viewer satisfaction through two different things. First is the average view duration, or your watch time. This is essentially how long people stay on your video after clicking on it. If they are quickly dropping off, that is a red flag for the algorithm. But if they watch till the end, YouTube is more likely to push your video. And the second is the engagement rate on your videos. How many likes and how many comments is your video getting? High engagement rate basically signals higher value to the algorithm. When people like, when they comment, when they ask questions, it tells YouTube that your content resonated with the viewers, encouraging the platform to promote it to a wider audience. Now, if you look at the advice that is out there for Instagram growth, people often talk about creating content that generates a specific response from the viewer. So you will either create content that generates a lot of likes, or you'll create content that generates a lot of shares, shareable content, or you will create content that generates a lot of comments, which is engagement. And a typical Instagram creator, in order to succeed, is required to create content that achieves all of these different parameters. That's how you grow. And now it looks like you need to have a similar approach or a similar strategy on YouTube as well. But you need, more than anything else, to create content that makes viewers stick around long enough and engage with your content through likes and through comments. Now, for the sticking around part, a simple rule of thumb is to follow a 3-minute strategy. Basically divide your entire video into 3-minute increments. And then, at those 3-minute marks, introduce a surprise element or a wow moment that basically brings the viewer's attention back to the video. Because within 3 minutes is when they start to drift off. This is the strategy that Mr. Beast actually follows in his videos. And to make viewers comment more and like your video more, you can actually have direct calls to action in your video. Just ask them to give this video a thumbs up. You can make it a challenge. Like, if this video gets 100 likes, I'm going to do XYZ. You can ask them to leave a comment as a challenge. Now, making people stick around on one video is one thing, but having them come back again and again for every upload is a different story altogether. This is what happens when you manage to build a community and not just viewers. Now, YouTube has this metric called returning viewers, which showcases the percentage of people who come back to watch more than one video on your channel. Now, ideally, you want to aim to increase this percentage to double or triple of what you have currently if you really want to create a successful, monetizable, faceless channel in 2025, because this means that people watch you for you and not just because a topic is interesting to them. Now, all the points that we've discussed in the video so far, picking your zone of genius, choosing the right topics, making your personality shine through, and prioritizing viewer satisfaction, all of these 4 things help you somewhat achieve this goal of building a community. But to really nail this aspect of your YouTube videos, you need to start understanding who your audience is, what your audience needs. You need to start figuring out what it is that they want, why they are coming to your channel, and how you can get them to stay. A strong community is the reason that channels like 10x Income, Easy, actually, Incognito CEO, and even Alex Hormozy have been able to grow so fast, so quickly, with so few videos. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.